Have you ever been able to list 100 reasons why you should be promoted, but never able to ask yourself for one? Have you ever been in a relationship so exhausted and felt completely one-sided, but can never set a boundary for yourself? If those resonate with you, you might have a permission problem. And the strangest part is, the only one stopping you is you. That's what internal permission is. Unlike external validation, you're not waiting for someone else to give you the green light. You're waiting for yourself, unintentionally, subconsciously, and that's somehow much harder. You keep enduring the discomfort, sometimes without even knowing why. More often than not, this is something that we have developed when we were younger. Being kids, we have authority figures in our life, parents, teachers saying, this is okay to do, work hard, be smart, don't do this, do that. We don't really learn to give permission to ourselves. Instead, we look outward for somebody to give us authority and permission. But the problem with this is that if we don't make the shift to give ourselves the permission to carry forward, we kind of follow the previous rules without questioning them. If you were raised to always be the top performer, you don't grant your permission to rest. You work until you burn out. If you were raised to be agreeable, then you don't learn to say no to others. You always say yes, whether you like it or not. Because saying no would feel like going against something you've believed your whole life. And it doesn't just stop there. The same pattern shows up when we go after things we actually want in our lives as adults. One of the versions is conditions. I won't do it until I have more confidence, until life feels more stable, until I have more experience, until I get to a certain age. All those kind of avoidances, basically you're searching for a reason to feel justified enough to take action. It gives you more control. It saves you from embarrassing yourself. But preparation, there always is a limit to that. At some point, preparation becomes something other than preparation. It becomes action blockers. And it is true, sometimes when you're in survival mode, it means that you're actually in a crisis and maybe it's not excuses. You actually can't go after things you want. A lot of the times, life is very rarely perfect. You can only wait for so many things to align before you start something. And before you know it, you already feel like you're too late. Here, permission is tied to identity. The misconception is that you feel like you earn the right to become a creative or a leader first, and only after that can you act. But in reality, you learn to lead, you learn to create, and then you earn the titles. But you tell yourself without those titles you can't start. But it's the opposite in reality. How can you become a leader or a creative without any experience of doing any of those? If you have a picture in your mind and you never put it down, it will always remain invisible. And this is how self-worth becomes conditional. What is enough age? What is enough experience, confidence, achievement? What is enough being taken advantage of? And the statement becomes, it's never enough. And sometimes it can even turn into, I'm not enough. Yet. So how do you give yourself permission then? First, notice the rule. How do you notice a rule? Things like, oh, I should write more so I can call myself a writer. Oh, I shouldn't charge that much. I'm not experienced enough. Oh, I shouldn't say anything here because I'm going to disappoint everyone. The way to find it is pay attention to the moment you hesitate. Not the action itself, but the moment just before. There's usually a sentence running in the back of your head, and that sentence is your rule. Once you notice it, ask yourself, since when have I been this way? Now, the question is not to dwell in the past or find somebody to blame, but you ask yourself that question to see if the rule is still applicable in your current life. Is there a legitimate reason to keep following that same rule? Because if that rule is made for a version of you that no longer exists, then you don't have to keep following it. You're walking towards self-authority now. That's the whole point. And permission isn't one big moment of deciding. We make so many small choices daily, and low-stake ones as well. If you don't know how to say no, then you don't have to say no. You can start by saying, oh, I'll come back to you later, or I'll think about it. If you don't know how to take a break, you don't have to take a whole day off. You can start by giving yourself 15 minutes every single day, and no justifications, no explanations to anyone. Those 15 minutes are yours. The resistance is so much smaller because the stakes are lower and the decisions are small. But every little decision that you make builds up momentum. It builds up evidence that you can make decisions for yourself. And the bigger decisions feel less impossible that way. The more you do it intentionally, the more it feels like you can make decisions that make you feel proud. You are the only one with authority to decide for yourself. The conditions that you're waiting for, you're the one who sets them. Thank you for watching my video. If this helps, like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll see you next time.